Do I just stay on this screen for a bit?
I'm just doing that until it goes live. Turn the camera.
Mm-hmm. Yes, guys, and welcome back to another video. We've got Big Steve back on the show. I think we need some mega optimism, guys, after yesterday's 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace. Make sure you get your likes in, subscribe to the channel. You got any super chats, send them in, and we'll get the questions asked with myself or Big Steve. Steve, how you doing, man?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, it was a long night last night, long drive today, but yeah, I'm back in one piece, and we're still top of the league.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the short of it, isn't it? You know what I mean? And I feel like it was a bit, I feel like, you know, the race is hotting up now, mate. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people flapping on social media yesterday, you know what I mean? Saying all kinds of mad shit, you know what I mean? But, like, this is what the pressure does. This is what the pressure's doing to City fans right now, you know what I mean? It's causing some serious concern.
Yeah, but the thing, what people got to realise is this pressure's what it's all about. You know what I mean? We could be languishing, having pressure at the other end of the table. We're not. We're in a title race. We've been in these title races before. We've won most of them. Do you know what I mean? It's getting a little bit sketchy because Liverpool are playing really well. They've got the tails up. They're coming right behind us. And we're not particularly playing too good. Like you say, we're just finding now that teams are shutting up shop and we're finding it increasingly difficult to break through. The striker problem's always going to come up. We win games, nobody mentions it. You can't break through, or you lose games, you draw games. It's always going to be, we need a striker, we need a striker. At the end of the day, I'm first to admit, you know what I mean? There's a problem at the minute. The form's not there, and Liverpool's tails are up. But you're going to get a lot of the younger fans. They're going to get a lot of the younger fans. They're just reactionary, and they react to it, and obviously they're going to be disappointed. Mm-hmm. You're going to get a lot of the older fans who've seen it all before. Typical Man City, put us through the mill. Do you know what I mean? We've got to remember that this club, you know, even when we were supposed to win the title easy, they made it that hard that we had to win it with the last kick of the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not panic stations. Obviously, we'd like to be 12 points clear. We're not. At the end of the day, the facts is this. We're still top of the league. If we win every one of our games, we're champions. If they win every one of their games, they're champions. But there's going to be twists and turns, man. So I just say to people, just get ready for it, innit?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely spot on, mate. And yeah, I mean, yesterday, we've seen obviously the Haaland news and come. You know, I'm sure we'll speak about that later on in the stream. But you know, we need a striker in there, you know what I mean, for next summer. I mean, looking at the Tottenham game, first day of the season, lose 1-0. We would have won that game if we had a striker. We would have won yesterday if we had a striker. The thing is that I actually disagreed with quite a lot of people yesterday. I thought we played all right. You know what I mean? You should have seen the chances that I don't know if you've managed to see the highlights back or you're going to put yourself through that pain, but there was a lot of chances. Laporte missed an open net. He had a header which, if the ball hit his head, it goes in. Bernardo missed one or two chances. Cancelo hit the post. Someone else hit the post. Like, I thought we played all right. I'm not saying it was a great performance, but I thought it was an all right performance. It was more than enough to get the win. But at the end of the day, Steve, sometimes shit happens and sometimes the ball just doesn't go in the net for you, you know what I mean? And I just think there was a little bit of an overreaction yesterday on social media. I seen people giving Bernardo the most unreal of abuse, and you know what I mean.
Listen, you're always going to get that. And one thing, man, if I'm not being funny, if we're Man City fans, we're all together. So how we can abuse this side when we're top of the league playing with no striker is unbelievable. And at the end of the day, this is where we've got to do our jobs as supporters, and the players have got to do their jobs. Listen, we're not Pep Guardiola, and we're not players. So our job is to support this team and get this team over the line. All them fans at Crystal Palace last night was unbelievable.
Yeah.
The young lads, young girls, older guys, the whole place was rocking. You know what I mean? They were behind the team. And do you know what? When it was petering out at 0-0, the fans turned it up another notch and applauded them all off the pitch. Now, that's our job as fans to do that. And then players need to look and go, do you know what? We've got to fucking do this for them fans. Monday night, Crystal Palace, full away end, bouncing. And I thought, you know what? That's what we've got to be. The ones online, you're going to get them in any fan base. Just ignore them. We've all got to be pulling together. The season these lads have had this season to be top of the league now is unbelievable. And now they need us more than ever. And we've all got to pull together, and we've just got to keep our head down. The media want us to crack. Rival supporters want us to crack. They all want us to implode. We're not going to do that. We all pull together. We take every game as it comes. We didn't get beat last night. We got a point. It was frustrating. Early doors. Laporte was misplacing passes. Rodri was the same. Cancelo was trying to bring it out. Was going out for a throw-in. There was just little niggly things about the night where you just had a feeling it was going to be a tough one. And then Palace, they just thought, you know what, we're going to dig in here. We've seen it happen. Southampton done it, you know what I mean? Tottenham done it to an extent. They're digging in. They're moving side to side. They're keeping that low block. And I'll be honest with you, it's very, very tough to get through.
Yeah, no, it is, but we did get through, and that's the thing. I was a bit surprised at some of the plaudits Palace were getting yesterday, because I actually thought they played a lot better in the game that they beat us 2-0. Not just because they won. I thought there was a lot. We didn't have half the chances that we had that day that we had last night. You know, on another day we could have scored 4 or 5. Although to be fair, I think we might have got off a little bit lucky last night, not conceding a goal. Yeah, and that brings me on to someone who I want to speak about, mate, and it's John Stones. You know, I'm a massive fan of John Stones. I think I've always been a fan of John Stones. I think this guy right now, I mean, look, Laporte splits the fan base at the moment. You know what I mean? Some people think he's playing fine. Some people think he's having a bit of a wobble. I'm sort of in the middle, and I'm not saying that just to sit on the fence. I genuinely am just sat in the middle. Ruben Diaz, he's been great all season, but I don't think he's quite reached the heights of last year. But for me, John Stones right now, he's the one that I need in that team. He brings the ball out. There was times yesterday he was 35, 40 yards out away from the Palace goal. He was dictating play, almost like what Rodri should have been doing. And defensively yesterday, I thought he was absolutely solid. I think there was a chance in the second half. I can't remember. It might have been Zaha who got the ball. And if it wasn't for John Stones' block, we would have been in serious mire. I think him, if he can get Ruben back into back into the top form and back in that sort of leadership mode, I think we've got a great chance of seeing this through, you know what I mean? But the defence has to do it. You know, Fergie, you know what I mean? He said defence wins your titles, and it's absolutely true. Now, yesterday we didn't win, and that's obviously a dampener for the rest of the season in terms of title hopes, but if we can get John Stones and Ruben Diaz playing at the top level, I just genuinely believe that whilst we don't have a striker and we are missing open chances, I think the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez, Foden, I reckon they'll carry us through, mate. I really do.
No, I'm still confident. Listen, I'm still confident with it, and I get this overreaction, but I mean, Laporte for me yesterday, he started a bit slow. He was a little bit sloppy, you know what I mean? He tends to switch off. His passing was a little bit astray. He was putting unnecessary pressure. He was getting caught in possession, and they was on us like that. And then, but I've got to give him credit. He recovered from that, and throughout the game, I thought he did all right. But we know that Laporte struggles if you put a ball over his head and someone's on him. He struggles a little bit. John Stones is a bit different. He's a bit more composed. He can get his way out of it. And like you say yesterday, Stones bringing the ball out from the back was brilliant yesterday. And at the end of the day, it was just so frustrating because, like you say, you've got Kevin De Bruyne shoots first half, I think. Keeper spills it. Bernardo, all he has to do is tap it in. Doesn't. Then Cancelo off the post. And then Laporte misses the rebound. And then you've got Bernardo Silva with a tap-in when De Bruyne crosses it. But there was a couple of times yesterday which was frustrating where the ball came out to Mahrez or Cancelo, and instead of whipping that ball first time across the box, they just took an extra touch too much, go out of play. The defender got a toe on it. And then you just know, by watching City for years, you just know that it's going to be one of them nights, you know what I mean? A little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. That point might just prove to be the point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, before the game, I was looking at them fixtures and I was looking at it. If we draw against Liverpool, we win the rest of our games, we were afforded another draw, right? So that is our draw. We draw against Liverpool, win the rest of our games, we're Premier League champions, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's still in our hands. And I know some social media accounts, online are saying it's all Liverpool, it's all in their hands. Well, no, hold the phone for a second. It's still also in our hands, you know what I mean? And as you said, Steve, we go out there and win our remaining games, which I'm more than, comfortable and confident that we will do, and we can do it. We'll be Premier League champions, you know what I mean? I just feel like... So some people aren't born for this title race, mate. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I'm thriving off it. I really am. And you're not just gonna get a one-way title race where everything goes in your way. Sometimes there's gonna be a little bit of pain, and that's what we got last night. But come on, guys, man, we're still top of the league.
This is the testament to the players. Look, you're not gonna want a better manager, and you're not gonna want a better group of players who to go and win the title. They've done it before. They know how to do it. They've done it coming from behind. They've done it from leading. So we've done every situation. It's just that because Liverpool are playing well, you've got to give them credit. They're playing well. They've kept to it. I always preferred chasing. I know people say they like points on the ball, but I always thought when you're chasing, the pressure's off a little bit, but the pressure's back on them a lot now because they're within touching distance. So their fans are getting really excited. You know what I mean? We're getting a little bit edgy. It's expected. And if we can get to that Etihad game and have a shootout, let's have it. Let's just have a shootout at the Etihad. Man City, Liverpool, cup final. If we beat them, you know what I mean? We're 4 points ahead. Do you know what I mean? They beat us. We're in the shit. But at least we had to do, innit? At least we just went, right, we're having it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I think
we just got to do.
That's going to be an absolutely massive game. I got a couple of super chats here, Gusty. Before we get into them, guys, please drop a like on the stream if you've not done so already. Help grow the channel. Subscribe as well if you are new around here, guys. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And go check out our sponsor today. It's the guys One Football, as you can see in the top left-hand side of the corner. They've got a mega app that you can download completely for free. Download it. Select City as your favourite team. You get all the team news before the game. You get in-match commentary, in-game stats. You get transfer news, transfer rumours, and much, much more completely free. You do help support the channel if you get on that. So links in the description. Right, let's go to Megatron 2099 with a Canadian 20. Big up Steve and Lewis. Pep forfeited 2 points. The players look jaded. Sterling, Jesus and Gundo were warming up, yet no subs last night. Sometimes you have to make changes. Don't sleep on Liverpool. What's your thoughts on that, Steve? Because again, this is something that sort of divided a lot of fans last night. Some backing Pep, saying if Pep thinks that's the best thing to do, that's what he thinks. Some people saying, nah, I should have changed it up. What are you saying?
Listen, he's the manager, innit? And that's what we're paying for. And that's why he's the best manager in the world to make decisions. And if he thinks that we're doing all right and we're knocking on the door and the rhythm's good, then he's decided to leave it. Hindsight, great, coming out the ground at 0-0 thinking he should have threw Sterling on, he should have threw Gundogan on. But if we'd have scored late on and won 1-0, there wouldn't have been a mention of it. So it is what it is. He took the gamble and it did pay off. If he brought Gundogan, it might have changed the rhythm. If he brought Sterling on, it might have changed it. I don't know. But look, we've just got to relax, innit? It's Pep Guardiola. He's made a decision. It's very rare, over a season, he makes too many bad ones. You know what I mean? That's why we're top of the league. So just give him a grace in it. Listen, I'm sure he's as disappointed as us. We're supporters. He's the manager, the players. They've just got to get a rocket up their arse now for me. I think they've either got to... Pep's got to G him up somehow. He's got to get Caldoon involved, I think. Have a word with him. He's got to have some little bit of inspiration to say, come on now, let's switch on. There's a few players there, Grealish and that. They're on the verge of the first Premier League title. I'm looking at Grealish to think, you know what? Let's have it. Let's prove it. Pull some out of the bag. Foden, young kid, been there before. Step it up, Phil. Kevin De Bruyne. Do you know what I mean? He was disappointed last night, Kevin. He was getting frustrated. Rodri, people like that. You know what I mean? Let's step it up now. Serious part of the season. Let's do it. So listen, it's in the players' hands. It's in Pep's hands. We've just got to do our job in it and just back him to the hill.
Yeah, I think the only one for me is I probably would have thrown the dice on Gundogan, but I don't think that I would have been rushing to throw Raheem Sterling on, not with the way that they were defending, with the amount of players that they had on the back line. And similarly, I wouldn't have been rushing to throw Gabby Jesus on either. So, I didn't really buy into the whole should have made sub thing, to be honest with you. Will McKay coming in with a 449. So far in 2022, the Scousers have only played 2 games versus the top half teams, drew with Chelsea and scraped past West Ham. More twists and turns to come. Will, absolutely right, mate. You know what I mean? Some people last night were reacting like it's game, set and match. Lads and ladies, if there's any in here, we're still fucking top of the league, man. You know what I mean? It's
There's going to be loads of twists and turns, I think. There's going to be loads of madness coming up.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I don't buy into this whole thing that Liverpool will go on and win every game to the rest of the season. First of all, they've got to come to the Etihad, and that's going to be a very, very interesting game. Don't forget, guys, in my opinion, I thought we battered them at Anfield, and it was only because Mo Salah's an absolute genius that he is that they ended up scraping a point. I thought we absolutely dominated them. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens at the Etihad when we play them there. But, I'm looking at our fixtures, and there's a couple of tricky ones, don't get me wrong, but I'm super confident. I'm super confident. And, I just think I think we discussed this on the last stream, actually, Steve, about fans needing to stick behind the team, and you said it then, but you said how good the support was, in Sellers Park last night from the City fans, and I absolutely don't doubt that. You know what I mean? When the boys go to an away day, the support is magnificent, But what I said, and I'm sure I said this on the last stream, is, the fans that are not going to the games as well, you have just an important job, guys, because when you're going online, spouting nonsense about Bernardo Silva, whatever, these players have social media profiles. They'll probably go on Twitter. They'll go on Instagram. You know what I mean? They'll be posting stuff saying, I got it about the result, whatever. The last thing they need to see is City fans getting on the cases. What they need to be seeing is City fans saying, let's go again. You know what I mean? Dust yourselves off, come back against Burnley, and let's go again and get the 3 points. You know what I mean? Last night was a bad night in terms of the ball just wouldn't go in. You know what I mean? I think some people were calling it in the first half. You could have said, this isn't going to be our night, but we've all got to stick together. Otherwise, I tell you, if we don't stick together, you might as well write the season off, guys, because I can tell you that now.
No, we will. I think we will. And like you say, coming out the ground last night, I was chatting to a few lads and that, and everyone was just like, it is what it is. We didn't get beat. That's important. You don't get beat. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you're in a title run, you don't get beat. That's why the Tottenham one was a big kick. If we'd have got that point against Tottenham, there's 2 points in it there. Again, do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But I just think we've just got to take it on the chin. He's got to regroup. We've got Southampton in the cup at weekend. But Burnley are fighting for their lives now. You better believe Burnley are fighting for their lives. And that's not going to be pretty there. They're going to set up exactly the same. They're going to go for the low block, and if they can keep us out for 90 minutes and get a point to Burnley's like winning the league. So we're going to have it all there. But I think sometimes we just lack that direct approach where, some lad said, why is Delap not on the bench where we can get that option if we have to go long and bombard them for 5 minutes and nick one? Because Liverpool do it. They did it at Wolves away. They needed a goal. They put Origi on. They started getting it in the mix-up. Bang, they scored. We used to do it all the time with Edin Dzeko. Bring Edin Dzeko off the bench, change it up a little bit. The amount of times Jack Grealish and Mahrez got the ball on the wing and nobody in the box, everyone's on the edge. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's overlapping, running. It's a bit strange to watch, and it frustrates the life out of you.
Yeah, to be honest, Steve, mate, I've sort of given up talking about the lap, mate. I've been speaking about the kid for 2 years, and he's not really got a fair run at the, at the first team at a time when any other club in world football would try to find an academy player and shoving them in just for a few minutes here or there. We've got 2 goalkeepers on the bench. You've got half a dozen defenders or whatever. And I think he played the day before, but at the end of the day, you knew Palace was going to be tricky. We played them, a couple of months ago. You saw how they were going to play. You know what I mean? The likelihood was that if we were going to score, it was going to be a scrappy goal. You know what I mean? Maybe a shot and the keeper saves it and you need a striker there to knock it in, or a cross or a corner or something. So, yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Magis was coming there with the 5.
Magis, big up Magis, man. Good
Yeah,
guy, Mo.
reduce goal, mate. And he says, not panicking yet. This is what the gap was for. We're still in control. Exactly. What's the point in creating a gap if you can't, accept a few L's now and again? You know what I mean? It's kind of bizarre, mate. In fact, I want to talk about Ilkay Gundogan because I was thinking about this today. Yeah, I was thinking about like a video idea, right? And I was thinking, what can City do? What can Pep Guardiola do? Yeah, when we come back from. Because I think our next Premier League game is in is that 2 weeks or something? I don't know.
2nd of April, I think, Burnley, yeah.
Yeah, it's a while off now. So that'll work in one or either ways. You know what I mean? They'll either really take this time to focus, regroup, see what's been going wrong, and then come back against Burnley. And whilst it'll be a tricky game, you'll see some proper intent, or it could work the other way. But I was thinking, for me, Steve, right now. What are we in now? You know what I mean? We're in an extreme title race with two of the best sides this league has ever seen, right? We're going neck and neck. Any slip up, fans start losing the shit, as we've seen last night. I want players in there that are experienced, level-headed, cool, composed, done it all before. I think I need to get Ilkay Gundogan in there. I don't know how you do that with the current situation of having Rodri, Bernardo, Kevin, Foden, Grealish. And then I want to put Gundogan in there. But I genuinely feel, mate, that I need Ilkay Gundogan in there. I need players that are cool and, I've done it all before. And Ilkay fits that bill.
I think Gundo plays better with Bernardo, for me. I think if Bernardo and Gundo are in there, and when De Bruyne was out especially, I don't think De Bruyne and Gundogan play well together. I think Gundogan always tends to drop off a little deeper, let Kevin do his thing. But when Kevin's not there, you find him arriving late in the box, scoring. Things like that. I totally get it. And like you say, it's up to Pep to manage it. Last night maybe wasn't the night for Gundo. Maybe it was. We don't know. But I just think we've got to keep calm. Gundogan's a great player. And like you say, experienced. We've just got to get these wins out of the way. This Burnley game's going to be tough. I didn't fear the derby. I knew it was the derby and anything can happen. I didn't fear it though. In my mind, I'm thinking, we'll beat them because they'll come out and have a little bit. And they did. And it worked. It played well. Burnley won't do that. Burnley's going to sit deep like Palace. Going to try and get you on the counter, or they're going to absolutely bombard you to death onto the big Dutch kid up front. So if we get a result at Burnley, and there's another team as well that's got a great Wolves at defending. We literally got a penalty at home to beat them 1-0. So going to Molineux is going to be tough because they're the same. You know what I mean? They can dig deep. And I think that's what teams are doing at the minute, just frustrating the life out of City and thinking, well, we might not be able to score against them, but they're not scoring against us. So we're having a lot of possession, but just can't pick the lock.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, it comes back to, not having a striker in there. And it's seemingly likely that City are going to have a striker in there next season. But I think most City fans who come in our chat, Steve, I don't know what you're seeing when you're speaking to the Blues that follow you, but a lot of Blues that follow us are saying, give Delap a shot. You know what I mean? And the thing is, a lot of them are not being stupid, Steve. A lot of our fans who are in the chat and that say, just give him 15 minutes at the end of the game if you're 0-0. You know what I mean? Yeah. Throw him on there. Try and gamble.
There's been times, Lewis, where we've been 4-5 up, and he's been on the bench and no one's given him a goal. So, you know what I mean? Whether Pep's... You've got to play that 9, you've got to come deep a little bit to link the play up. I don't know whether Delap's that kind of guy. I think he's more a direct approach. But this is where I'd be saying to the wingers, get the ball and get it in the box. The kid's going to get on the end of it. But it's sad, isn't it, when you're pinning your hopes on a kid that's never played? Do you know what I mean? So when you're a title, that's some of them were saying that. We need Delap. But... You know what I mean? It is what it is. Jesus, Jesus for me can do the job. You know what I mean? He works hard, but he knows where the net is. He'll get a poacher's goal. You whiz the ball in the box. Jesus get a toe on it, get his head on it. He's a bit braver. But same thing last night. Didn't happen because Foden, to be honest, last night was struggling a bit. They knew how to play him. They were a big physical team. They just pushed him around, kept him on the edge of the box. Every time Foden made a run, nobody found him. Nobody had the balls to play it through. And like you say, it was very much side to side. John Stones, at one point, is playing on the edge of their box. And John Stones is like, you're relying on him to thread the ball through. It won't happen.
Yeah. On Phil Foden, actually, I was thinking about this last night. What do you think? What do we do with Phil? Because I've seen him now playing in these type of games a few times, and it seems to me that the guy just gets sort of he struggles to impact the game sometimes in these, and it's not his fault. It's because he's not the type of player that's going to make runs in behind that much. Why? Because that's not how he grew up as a footballer. When you seen him in the academies, he always had the defence in front of him, not behind him, and he just seems to just lose space because he's got 3 or 4 defenders around him. He's got 2 midfielders in front of him blocking him off. I don't know, me. I seen a few people last night saying in them type of games, maybe it would be worth sticking him out on the left wing where he gets a little bit more space. And I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that.
For me, he plays better on the left. I think he plays better on the left. I'd have liked to have seen maybe push Grealish in the middle, but that's a thing that Pep doesn't do enough for me. Why not interchange the front three, even if it's just to outfox them? Do you know what I mean? Because if you're playing City, Mahrez is playing on the right, he's staying on the right. So you do your preparation all week. You're telling your left back, you've got Riyad Mahrez, he's right. I'm in my head, I've got Riyad Mahrez. 20 minutes in the game, if Riyad Mahrez floats over to the left and Phil Foden comes on the right, that fullback's thinking, hold on a minute, Foden's here now, twisting me up a different way. And I just think that's just football. You've got to outfox the opponents. And I think sometimes Jack Grealish coming in the middle, Foden going out on the left, little things like that. Grealish dropping into midfield, Kevin De Bruyne jumping into the 9. I think like Barcelona used to do it all the time with Iniesta, Xavi, Messi, all swapping. I just think that can bamboozle and maybe get you a result. But when you're stuck, when you was like last night, where you don't change the shape, you don't change the personnel, you just keep going up against this Crystal Palace wall, which you clearly, after 60 minutes, you're not getting through. So 70 minutes, you ain't getting through. 80 minutes, you ain't getting through. And then before it, boom, whistle gone, 0-0. We're all thinking, what the fuck's just happened? You know what I mean? And that's what the frustrating point is from the fans.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Guys, if you've not done so already, please smash a thumbs up on the stream. Subscribe to us as well if you've not done so already. Hit the notification bell, guys, so you don't miss any of our videos or when we go live. Hoping to get a journal one in the next week or so. Contact has been made with a few of them, and we're just seeing what they know and whether or not they're prepared to come on the show, man. So you don't want to miss any of that. And check out the sponsor of today's stream, OneFootball Mega App. I'm using it all the time, especially during City matches, guys. And the proof's in the pudding, because people always see me on the app when I'm doing the watch-alongs. Everything that you need in-game stats, in-game commentary, in case you can't watch the match for whatever reason. Team lineups, transfer news, transfer rumours, and much more. Go check it out. Link in the description and the pinned comment. Completely free app, and if you download it, you do help support the channel. Couple super chats. Keir's coming here. A big fan of you, Steve. There. He says you save lives and he loves you on the Big Six. Shout out. Yeah, no worries. Shout out Keir. Who else we got here? We got Chuck Steak here with a 9.99. People are saying Gundo had a back injury and that's why he hasn't started a lot. Apparently he bad our back trap when he come on for the United game.
Backstrap. Must have had his back strapped up or something, yeah.
I didn't know about that, man, to be honest with you. But the guy's been on the bench, and I don't subscribe to the shit that, like, if you're not fit, then you shouldn't be in a team or the bench. That's my opinion. But I think we need Gundogan in there, you know what I mean? But obviously, if he has got some sort of back injury, then that might explain the reasons why. Right, before we get on to transfer news and that, Steve, I want to move on to the fixtures. In fact, before I do, anything else you want to mention about last night, Steve, or pretty much covered it all?
No, I think we just covered it all. I think we've just, you know what I mean? It was one of them games. Let's move on now. Let's get ready for Burnley. And yeah, it was a mad one. Because I said, as you see the pictures, I was with the players in the hotel before the game.
Oh yeah, tell us about that.
Well, they all came in and they were doing their own thing, and the city security is next level. So I was just doing my own thing. I'd been in the hotel a couple of nights.
Steve, what's your Instagram in case people haven't seen it?
My Instagram's at Big Steve MCFC, and the YouTube channel's at Big Steve MCFC as well. So get over there. So yeah, the security was all over him. So I thought, you know what? I'm not going to mind the players. I'm just going to chill out. And then my son was going, Dad, make sure you get a picture with him. Make sure you get a picture with him. And I thought, you know what? I thought the money I spent on this team, this security ain't stopping me. I'm going to go over. Anyway, the players were cool. I just went. Any chance he was like, yeah, come over. Had a chat with a few, nothing much. The atmosphere's a bit somber, whether they were tired or they was going in team meetings or whatever. And then, funny story, I was leaving the hotel at about 4:00. I thought I'll nip out early. I'll get a taxi up to the ground. I'll have a mooch. And I pressed the lift door, and the door opened, and Jack Grealish, Kyle Walker, Scott Carson, England's number one, and one of the coaching staff's in the lift. Yeah, it's only a small lift, isn't it? So I've shuffled in. I'm like literally right face to face with Grealish. So I was just like, "All right, Jack," and he's like, "Yeah, you." I went, "Sound." I went, "Can I have a picture?" He went, "Yeah." So I had a picture with him. And then we got out at the bottom of the lift, and then Sterling was waiting there with Foden. So it was just a bit mad, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you know what I mean? You spend all week talking about them, you love them, you go all over the world watching them, and then I'm literally face to face. But they were cool. They were cool. They were cool with me and that. And yeah, it was just a mad day. And then go to the game, and that happens. But it is what it is, man. It's a great club, man. Everything about it, it's just mad, man. But the fans and all that last night were just crazy. I just thought, do you know what? This fan base deserves a lot, man. I love it.
Yeah, no, the players do seem a good bunch. We've got a couple of Irish mates who travel over a lot to see the City games, and on one of the international, one of the City games, and then it was straight away international break. Anyway, there was in Manchester Airport, and the players come through, obviously all flying off to the respective countries. It must have been a rapid type of rapid debrief after the game, and they must have just been straight to the airport. And they was asking the players for pictures in the airport, and you know, airports are like, man, they're proper busy, aren't they? You know, and you understand if the players say, sorry, I've got, you know what I mean? I've got all this shit to do. Can we swerve it? But, you know, by and large, a lot of the players were just pretty chill, you know what I mean? And that, I think they're respecting the fans, and you know what I mean? You obviously going to the away days, and I've done them a lot before I started doing this channel, and there's a lot that goes into an away day, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of travel, you know what I mean? Hours and hours of travel, a lot of money spent. You know what I mean? And some of these City fans that are going in there, especially the younger lads, you know what I mean, who are probably just at the start of their sort of, you know, career and not earning the big cash, they're spending half of their pay packet going watching City home and away. You know what I mean? So it's nice to get...
respect it, man. You've got to respect it. You know, this is what I say all the time. You've got to respect it. There's people earning... times are hard, man, at the minute for people, and people are just like... But when I was young, I didn't earn a lot of money, but Man City was my life, so... I'd literally just not go out with my mates or spend any dough. I'd just be on City. And that's why back in the day, you come home and your mum would be like, what the fuck are you doing? You've spent all your dough watching that. You just got beat off Grimsby. And you're like, yeah, but it is what it is. I can't explain it. How I've had the best time of my life. And they're like, well, you know what I mean? But it's mad. But yeah, you got to respect it at the minute. I mean, I drove down, and you know the price of petrol at the minute. It's just crazy, mate.
It's damaging, isn't it? It's seriously damaging. Yeah, shout out all the guys who were going to them away games, man. It's not easy. Bailey, Bez there with the 2. We are City. We fight till the end. Big up, Steve. Yes, guys. Go follow Steve on his socials and his YouTube channel. Right, let's get into the running. Obviously, we got the Southampton. I'm going to gloss over that for now. So focus on the Premier League, yeah? So, rapid, we got Burnley, Liverpool, Wolves, Brighton, Watford, Leeds, Newcastle, West Ham, and on the final day of the season, Aston Villa, which will be an interesting one to end on for whatever reason. Whether it's Grealish lifting the trophy or whether it's Gerrard stopping us from winning it, it's sure to be an interesting finale. I'm looking at them fixtures here, and I think I mentioned it 5-10 minutes ago. Look, some difficult games in there, but I'm not looking at that thinking, we've got a proper tough running. You know, and that's not trying to disrespect the players. I'm looking at my team, guys. I'm thinking my team can win these games, including the Liverpool match.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. You know, we can do it. But, you know, some guy said to me last night coming out, he went, typical City, we'll go and beat Liverpool, yeah, and lose to Wolves or Brighton. I was like, why have you just said that now? Because that played on my head when I was coming out the ground, because I thought that's a City thing to do, innit? We'll all be bouncing after doing Liverpool at the Etihad, all doing the Poznan again, the family stand and everything, and then go and get spanked off Brighton or someone.
Yeah,
and we will all be on a meltdown mode again, you know what I mean? You can see it, but you got to laugh, man. If you don't laugh, you cry, innit?
Yeah, I mean, I was laughing last night, mate. When some of them shots and misses that was, I resorted. You go through like a little phase, you know, of frustration. Then you get angry, and then you just start laughing. You know what I mean? When players are missing open nets from 2 yards out, what else can you do? Otherwise, you end up fucking just do some serious damage. Right, Burnley away, mate. 3:00 kickoff, and by the way, we could be second at that point. Liverpool played 2 games before we play that because they play early kickoff that day. So, you know, that's going to be tricky. As you say, they're fighting for their lives. We've got to get the 3 points, you know. We've got to find a way through. We've just got to get the 3 points out of that one, mate. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of gutted as well because I've been backing Burnley to stay up. I think they've got a sick chance of doing it. I back Dyche. I think he's a quality manager. I'm backing this Weghorst guy, whatever he's called. I think he's decent. But, you know, we've got to find a way. I don't care how we're scoring goals at the moment. You know what I mean? You're at the part of the season where no one cares about performances. The only thing, it's a results-driven business right now. And that's what we need to get against Burnley. And then, obviously, that takes us into the Champions League, followed by the Liverpool game, man. It's going to be... That's a tough week, that, isn't it? That's a tough week, mate.
Tough, mate. We could draw them in the Champions League as well. We end up playing them 3 times. Do you know what I mean? We could end up getting United if they go through. So you got derbies in between. It's madness, mate. But this is what we're about, innit? We could be on here talking about fucking struggling to stay up, struggling to survive. We're on here talking about winning the title. We're top of the Premier League. You know, we've got all these different scenarios coming up in our heads that we all got different opinions. That's what we are, why we love football. And at the end of the day, what will be, will be. Do you know what I mean? We've been on the good side of the coin many a time. We've been in this title run and we've never lost it. At the end of the day, we're just going to ride it out. We're Man City. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. We're confident. I think we're going to do it. I think with the games where we're expected to win, we might do something stupid. And then when we're all shitting ourselves against Liverpool, we could blow them away. So I think we've just got to relax. Like I say, we're in great hands with Pep Guardiola and the team. If anyone's going to be disappointed with last night's result more than us, it's going to be Pep. And if you can get him on this training ground, give him a kick up the arse, then we keep on going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the next 3 games for me, Steve, I think if we come out of that Wolves game, top of the league, I think we'll do it. You know what I mean? Because then we've got Brighton at home, Watford at home, Leeds away, Newcastle at home. I think we get, 12 points there. I think we get 12 points out of them games. But we've got to, I think we come out of that Wolves game, top of the league. Because people are like, oh yeah, you come out of Liverpool game, top of the league, then you'll win the league. But Wolves is hard, mate. Wolves is hard, you know what I mean? It's a hard game. If you come out of that game, top of the league.
Palace went to Wolves last game and beat them 2-0.
Yeah. But how did Wolves play in that game? You know what I mean? Did they try and play a little bit more open? You know what I mean? Try and take the game a little bit more to Palace? Well, they won't do that against City. You know that, Steve. They'll sit back, pretty much what Palace do to us. And
got Leeds fighting for their life as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Liverpool have got some tough games coming up. They're not going to have it their own way. You know, we've seen against West Ham at Anfield, if Lanzini had his Man City shooting boots on, the goal he scored at the Etihad, and tapped that one in, it's different. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, Inter Milan went there the other night and beat them. But so, look, we're all looking at different things in our head. We just got to concentrate what we're doing, but it's far from over, but it's exciting, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm trying to find, actually, because before I had a little bit of a comparison of fixtures. Here it is. I got it here. Right. From the 19th of April to the 7th of May, City's fixtures: Brighton at home, Watford at home, Leeds away, Newcastle at home. Liverpool's corresponding fixtures: United at home, Everton at home, Newcastle away, Tottenham at home.
Yeah.
That's huge, mate. That's huge. You know what I mean? Now, of course, I expect them to pretty much win them all, but you never know. United, could Arsenal slip up and that could be a big top 4 game. The Merseyside Derby, obviously Everton in 3-4 right now, and obviously on paper you think, and on form you think, nah, it's a dusted game, but they could be fighting for their lives, and it's a derby. Newcastle away, St James's Park, you know it's like there, Steve, never a really easy place to go. And then Tottenham, you know what I mean? Conte's going to play defensive football. Can Liverpool break them down? Again, and this just sort of explains it to me, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't that worried last night. You know what I mean? I'm just taking every game as it is. And as I think you're saying it right, Steve. What will be. And to be fair, we have had our fair share of looks in these, title races in the last 10 years. At some point, it will come to an end. But right now, I'm confident these players will get us over the line, mate. I really, really am. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at them fixtures and 4 games: Brighton, Watford, Leeds, Newcastle, and I'm thinking we get 12 points there. Come out the table top against Wolves. And I think we'll do it, man. I think we'll do it.
We need,
I think
we need Diaz back soon as well, even just in and around the squad. You know what I mean? Because he's obviously our leader now, isn't it? You know what I mean? He leads by example, and sometimes you need a rocket to keep him going. And I think we need to get him fit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Kay's coming in with another super chat. Thanks a lot, Kay, with a 449. My prediction is Liverpool win the Premier League by 2 points and Man U get a jammy and get in the Champions League final where you face them and win. So you think we'll lose the
Can you imagine
Premier
that?
League?
Can you imagine Man United, City in the Champions League final in Paris? Oh, God.
Yeah, that'd be
Bring it on, man.
I mean, that's an interesting one. Lose the Premier League and win the Champions League. I mean, we spoke about that last time, so I won't go into it.
Yeah,
but, I mean, come out with one of them big trophies, and it's a fantastic season. Right, let's speak about some transfer news then, Steve. We did speak about Haaland on the last stream. You told us, you said, look, my sources have told me that this is a done deal, yeah? And obviously it's not signed, maybe the contract's not signed, so things can always change, you know what I mean? Don't come at me, don't send for me if he ends up going elsewhere, but as far as I'm aware, the deal is pretty much done. Friday night, mate, I was chilling in the Lake District with my family, had a few beers, boom, phone blown up, gets a text message off you, told you so, Twitter going wild, people in our comments saying, what's going on? Mate, your source there looking pretty accurate so far.
Listen, I won't put it out there if the person that told me wasn't credible, you know what I mean? And then the way he told it me, I've told you the story, innit? And the way he's told it me so I'm thinking, okay, he's close to it. If he's telling me that, and the fact he nearly backtracked because he really told me and he didn't really want to tell me, but it is what it is. I've got to respect him. All I'm saying is, look, for me, I've been told it's done. He's the number one priority. Pep Guardiola is signing a new contract. He's going to sign a new contract. Haaland is going to sign the deal. And then it's all going to be happy days. But, things can change. But at the end of the day, he's the number one. He's the number one. I'm telling you now. We've let a few years ago when Messi was available and that, and City fans, you're looking at these options, you're thinking, how's Pep let that one go with the connections to Messi? But I believe it's all been geared up for this fella. I think he's going to be our main man. So I'm excited by it. So we just got to relax. You know what I mean? You know what people are like, the transfers. We've got to relax. There's going to be this Real Madrid. Real Madrid are going to get him, and this, that, and the other are going to get him, and all this. I believe listen, I think Real Madrid have got there, man. Mbappe. I think Barcelona are digging about in free transfers. They're getting kids from Ajax on frees and people like that. And I think the path's clear for City. He just needs to come home, doesn't he?
Come on, Erling, you know what I mean? He's still in that Facebook group in Norway, isn't he? He loves it. I think for me, I've been confident. To be fair, I was pretty confident before you come out anyway. But then when you said that, and then obviously just to confirm, guys, last week, obviously Steve said what he said, and I said, "Oh yeah, you tell me afterwards, innit?" You know what I mean? I did actually genuinely not ask. I said this off air before we started recording. I had people in my DMs saying, "Oh, what did Big Steve tell?" And I was like, "Nah, I actually genuinely forgot to ask him, so I'll ask him the next time I speak to him." I mean, people didn't believe me. I was like, "Oh no, you just can't tell him." Well, obviously I can't tell you the guy's source. You know what I mean? That's not how it works. I always see this on Twitter. Like you'll get someone on Twitter say, "This is what I've been told." You know what I mean? Well, tell me your source. It's like, yeah, but then the source will never tell me anything ever again. You know what I mean? Like,
even this one, right? A guy DM'd me from a private, shall we say, clinic in Alderley Edge and said to me, "You are right, Steve. The deal for Haaland is done." So I was like, "How do you know that?" And he says, "I treat and they told me." And I was like, okay. So I've got him stashed because if it don't come true, I'm going to blame him. But he was not the source. But he came out after last week and messaged me privately and said, "You're right, Steve. It's a known. I think it's a known fact. A few top end people are saying things, but listen, we've all just got to calm down, innit? You know what I mean? Because I want to blow the roof off me. I want to get my shirt printed up and everything. But I'm not doing it. Because things change. You see how many ex-footballers come out and say, I was having a medical here, I was signing here, even to the point where they take pictures in the kit, like Paul Ince and things like that, and then things just go the other way. So we just got to be patient. There's big numbers involved. It's a massive transfer if it comes off. But obviously people, the person that told me, respect to him. But I'm just Big Steve. I'm a fan. I'm as excited by you, and I want it to come off 100%. But, you know, I'm confident that he told me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you know, Jack Gorn, you know, he's a big source, guys. You know, they don't put these stories out there if there's nothing to it. You know what I mean? And I keep saying, and I know you're the same, Steve. You know what I mean? I keep just cautioning you. Yeah, we do our videos and we do our live streams and we get Jordan get hype and play this tune. Right, and you know what I mean? We all get hype, you know what I mean? Why? Because we're trying to entertain you guys. We're trying to make you smile and have a bit of a laugh. But just caution yourself, you know what I mean? Until the guy has signed his contract and he's pictured in his shirt and he's on the City website, shit can change, innit? You know what I mean? So let's have a laugh about it. Let's get hype, you know what I mean? Let's start planning our team formations in our group chats with our City mates. Or where's he going to fit in? Who's going to drop out? Let's do all that, yeah? But let's just caution it in the sense that until it's done, it ain't done. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I just want to say that, you know what I mean? Because sometimes people get a little bit...
Do you know the story about Haaland? Do you know the story about Haaland with me on the Big Six? Let's put it this way, right? I messaged Erling Haaland 2 years ago about something totally different to this, about a business deal, yeah? Mm-hmm. He messaged me back, right? And he said, speak to my dad. And he gave me Alfie Inge Haaland's number, yeah? Now, in my phone now, I've got Alfie Inge Haaland's number, yeah? And on his WhatsApp picture, it's Alfie Inge Haaland, yeah? But everyone's saying, you need to ring him, innit? Now, you better believe that near at the time, yeah? Near at the time, you can't see it. Where's my camera? Near at the time. Right? Mm-hmm. Near at the time, you better believe I'm going to ring him on loudspeaker on here, and I'm going to ask him outright, is Erling coming to City? If he tells me to fuck off live on air and I get blocked and I get arrested for stalking, it's down to you lot.
Wow, that's a madness. That is an absolute madness. And you know what, guys? I back in Steve on this one. I'm backing Steve because there's another person. I ain't going to say the name in it because obviously you got to protect your sources and that. But there's another person who I've seen photographic evidence of a conversation between Alfie Haaland, because it's, as you say again, guys, like just so everyone knows, yeah, I don't know Steve, innit? I mean, the first time I ever spoke to him properly was on the phone last week, and we did a stream the day after, and this is the third time I spoke to him, yeah? You know what I mean? And I know for a fact that Haaland would say, speak to my dad, because I've seen photographic evidence of a conversation between Alfie Haaland and another source about this sort of situation. So, look, it's a madness. Let's see what happens with it.
As well, do you know what he does? When I, on a business account that I know, when I message him, I can see when he's online, innit? Because he's replied to me, innit? So, I'm going to, listen, if this deal comes off, I'm going to show you the interactions, the messages that I have sent this kid over the last 2 years, little seed planters, like when he's watching the game against Chelsea and De Bruyne scored, I sent him a message saying, did you watch City today, mate? Kevin De Bruyne whipping them crosses in, you'd be all over them. And he's seen the message. He's seen it. And he's never blocked me. He must buzz off me. He's thinking, this lunatic is on me. I don't even know who he is.
He definitely
but he's seen it. And on the Big Six show, I've shown Saeed and all them. Saeed's seen the messages, yeah? He never messaged me back. He's just seen it. So as long as I know in his head, he's glanced at that while he's on the bog or something, I'm hoping it's playing in his mind, innit? So that's what I'm thinking, innit? He's probably just deleted it or it's his agent. But at the end of the day, you've got to cling on to these little things, man. So if City sign him, I want 10% of Raiola's cut for getting it in. You know what I mean? Getting it over the line.
Mate, you'll be on the beaches, lad, if that happens. Suburbia coming in here with a £5 super chat. Thanks a lot for all your super chats today, guys. Really appreciate your support. You got any questions? You want anything that you want me or Steve to see? Get them sent in before the end of the stream. Make sure you smash a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. And check out Steve's socials as well. Watching with my two Frenchies, Sergio. Oh, Sergio. I guess you mean Sergio, but who knows? Sergio, Kun Aguero and Vincent Kompany. True, no joke. Cancelo overrated? Question mark. Can't defend for me. Feast or famine. For me, I don't know, man. I think Cancelo... I don't think... Nah, I disagree slightly. And I'll come to you in a sec on this, Steve. But for me, Superbia, I don't think he's bad at defending. I think sometimes he makes bad decisions. I think actually as a defender, I think he's a pretty good defender. But I think sometimes his decision-making needs to improve. I think if he can work on his decision-making a little bit, I think he's fine. But it's just decision-making for me, man. That's. I don't know what you think, Steve. You want to throw in?
No, I agree with you. Decision-making, he did it last night. There's a couple of chances where you think, okay, slide him in and he'll shoot and it'll fly over the crossbar, or he'll try to nutmeg the midfielder to get half a yard, and the midfielder will take it off him, and then we're right on the back foot, where he could have just played a simple little ball inside to Laporte or someone like that. That's the only thing we can cello. But he's having a great season, you know what I mean? He's been brilliant. People just get a little bit on, like, to say he's, he can't defend. He's playing in one of the best teams in Europe, man. So, yeah, but decision-making, I'll go with that. He does sometimes drive you nuts.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right, we'll start to wrap this up now, guys. So if you got any final questions, get them sent in, and we'll myself or Steve will get them answered. Maybe just a quick word on the Champions League drawdown, Steve, because that's obviously on Friday. We probably won't speak now until next week unless we do another one. Obviously a couple of games to play. Obviously United are playing tonight and that, and I think there's a couple final fixtures that need to be decided, but. Any preference, lad, or you just give me whoever? You're not asked.
Just not asked now. I just the way I think about it is what it is. It's a look at the draw sometimes in them cup competitions. But if we get Liverpool, we got them big nights at Anfield in it, where we go there under the lights. You know what I mean? You get Man United, madness. Man City, Man United, Champions League. Benfica, I think they're still in it. Wouldn't mind going over there. Went to obviously Lisbon before. So it is what it is, man. But listen, we're doing all right. We just got to keep on rolling.
Yeah, of course. That Champions League fixtures as well, guys, comes on either side of that Liverpool game. So we've got to look at not only who we get, we've got to look at who Liverpool get as well. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be getting like a buy-in only for them to get someone who they'll dust. You know what I mean? Because then obviously have a bit of rest. But look, these are the challenges that you face in a season. You know what I mean? And we just got to take what we get. We've got the squad to deal with it. You know what I mean? Although it's not as deep as everyone, as the media will make out. You know what I mean? Media make out that we've got 2 Premier League full starting 11s, which I don't think is true. But we got the squad. We got a decent squad to cope with the pressure. We got the best manager in the world by far, best fans in the world by far. And let's just see what happens. I still think we're in for a special season. I feel something. You know what I mean? I really, really do. And let's see what we've got. Chuck Steak here with a $9.99. Let's get it on screen. Would you guys take Neymar? Oh, I've seen this today, Chuck. Is this a real thing? I thought it was just like, one of these crappy sources, man. What they're saying? They're saying PSG want to sell Neymar. Make perfect sense. The rumours about him joining if Jesus decided to leave.
Nah, we don't need him. We don't need him. He spends more time on his ass. Do you know what I mean? I think in the Premier League, I think you smaller so-called teams that have a field day with him. You know what I mean? Rattling him up. City rattled him up in the last games, and he loses his head, and he's used to no one. And Premier League's not suited for him. He's just going to end up. I don't know where he's going to end up. But I was with a Paris. I don't know if you know the Paris Saint-Germain fans. Called Parisian Londoner. Big up Parisian Londoner.
Yeah. I don't know video.
He was at the game with me last night, and he was saying the same. It's a big mess over there now. Messi. Neymar, they've caused a big divide. The fans smashed the training ground up last week, sprayed everything up.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, they smashed the training ground.
I knew they weren't happy, but I didn't know they smashed the training ground
up. They've told the chairman, the Qatari group, to leave. They want the club back. They said they want the club back. They don't want the dough. They don't want any of it. They said it's like a Disneyland. It's like a shit show. They're bringing out kits with Jordan every other week. He said it's just a nightmare, man. So they're fuming, mate. And he said they got things planned against the against the club and against the stadium and things they're going to do. The ultras have got a lot of power out there. And Neymar and Messi, they were getting booed last game off their own supporters.
Seeing it, man. Seeing it. It's a wild one. It's a wild one. Steve, another mega stream. I think you'll agree, lad.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Loved it.
We'll see what happens at the weekend. Are you going down Southampton?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I've got a couple of tickets. I'm giving away a couple of tickets as well on my Instagram tonight. So if anyone wants tickets for Southampton, get on that Instagram post, tag your mates, and you've got a chance. But I might be, I don't know. After I worked for City against Peterborough, they said we might have you back for the Southampton game in the studio. So I've literally not heard anything from them this week. So I'll either be at the Etihad working for City on the Match Day Live, or I'll just get in the car and drive down. Spot
on. Spot on. Steve, whatever you do, man, enjoy it. Hopefully we progress going to the semi-finals. I think that'll be a nice little... I think it's international break after that, actually. I think that's why there's that little bit of a gap there between Southampton and Burnley. There must be, because there's like a 2-week gap, man. So brilliant. Another international break. We love it. Steve, spot on, fella. Thanks a lot for coming on, guys. Make sure you leave your support for Steve. Let us know what you think about all the topics we've discussed. Go check out Steve's channel on YouTube and his Instagram as well. If you want them tickets, you want to be in with a chance of winning them tickets, go head over to Steve's Instagram. Go check out One Football, guys, sponsor of today's stream, completely free app to download. Link is in the description and pin comment. When you download it, select City as your favourite team. You get all the team news straight to your phone, match reports, in-game stats, in-game commentary. It's absolutely wild, and I can guarantee you, if Ireland does sign, they'll have loads of content on the app as well. So all that is in the description. Shout out to everyone who has super chatted us today, and yeah, Steve, I'll see you next week, mate.
Put the Ireland tune on.
You want it? You want the Ireland tune? You want it?
Yeah, what a dance.
Loves it. I'll catch you next week, buddy. See you later.
Yeah, see you later.